We're now in the evening hours. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sonic and the Side Quests, or welcome back to Sonic and the Side Quests, where we're focusing on the Sonic series and the speedrun categories for it that involve more than just beating the game. We have Knuckles Chaotix coming up right now, where we're collecting Chaos Rings, or, you know, Chaos Fruit Loops. They're Fruit Loops. Let's be real. It's breakfast time. But I'm really happy to have Protosonic on board with S2 on commentary. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Alrighty. Hi, everybody. I'm Protosonic, one of the few runners that we have for Knuckles Chaotix. I do play both Beat the Game and Best Ending. We're going to be getting those Chaos Fruit Loops now, part of a nutritious breakfast. And, we got a banger of, a lot of music, and we're going to be playing with Knuckles for one level. And then we're gonna be Charmy, and we got S2 on comms as well. So it's great to see you again in that regard, S2.
Yo.
So I'm a little mad. I wanted Knuckles to win, of course, with Sonic Blast. So because Knuckles gang and everything. But we're gonna be playing with Charmy. So we're gonna be Charmy's Chaotix at this point. So lovely game, 32X. Not the greatest of systems. That with all that. But I definitely enjoy it, and we're gonna have some interesting special stages. We're gonna have some interesting level layouts, and there's a lot of randomness with this, a lot of RNG. So let's get to that scenario quest. They don't even call it new game, just scenario quest. So S2, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna count down from 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So welcome to the world of Knuckles Chaotix. We're on this island here, and I'm trying to figure out what this island is as well. But I know in the manual it tells you a lot of interesting stuff with it. With the American one, it tells you it's an amusement park area, and in the Japanese one, it's a lot more interesting with that. And I know Hypnotics is probably in the chat as well. And S2 knows more about this as well. So we got a lot of comparisons.
I believe the island is called Neutrogic High Zone.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Kind of strange. Usually the individual levels are called zones, but in this game the whole setting is the zone. And
exactly.
The what would normally be zones, I believe, are called amusements or attractions or something. I believe it's attractions.
Yeah, we'll find out when we get to our little stage select area.
Yeah.
And I can say for a fact, this is a very interesting game because of the day, it's not just day and night cycles. We actually have, of course, this slingshot method that we're going to be using right now because, we're tethered now, forever tethered. In holy matrimony, basically, with SBO. And, it's a very interesting mechanic because we can slingshot, whether we're going vertically or horizontally across. We can grab the characters, and we can throw them whichever way we want to. And it's interesting with that. So, I'm trying to think if anything else with this stage, because this is just a tutorial. This is just to get you more into the game and learn the different mechanics of it. But we're going to break that because they're expecting you to go all the way around. And instead of that, we're just going to slingshot ourselves forward, or upward.
Yeah,
and
if you probably noticed, he's, right now he's using the slingshot. He's throwing the other character up in the air and then catching him air and throwing him again. And basically just kind of fly around the stage almost. This is really cool technique that you don't get to see much of throughout the run, but in the tutorial you get to see it a lot, and it's really kind of mesmerizing almost. It's fun to watch for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it down. There we go.
It is very difficult, I must say.
Yeah, it is. You gotta it's like a time, there's a rhythm to it, so that's why I'm kind of just focusing. And this is one of the only times we actually will see it, depending on, particular monitors we're gonna get later on, because yes, there are monitors that actually switch your characters out. And so, I'm gonna grab these. No, I'm gonna grab those rings. I don't need them. And just like with any old Sonic game, any classic game, you need 50 rings to get into the giant ring. And it's time to get our first Chaos Fruit Loop. And so, S2, can you talk a little bit about these special stages? Because I am going to focus on a lot of these as well.
Yeah, so the special stages, if any of you have played popular Flash game Run, I've seen a lot of people compare this to that game. But yeah, it's these little 3D mazes, and well, this first one is kind of a tube type deal where it's, you know, you're a little bit more shut in with the tube. A lot of them do have a little bit more like complicated level designs. And you have to collect blue spheres. You know, that's a pretty common concept now in Sonic special stages, but these ones are actually kind of tricky. This first one isn't too bad, but there is going to be a huge difficulty spike around Special Stage 3, where they just get really tough. So it can be very difficult actually to get all of these.
Oh, definitely. And I did miss out on a couple of those, a couple of them earlier. So it's all about just paying attention, like, to your, you know, alignment on the actual platforms.
Yeah, they can be very weird. The game calls them limits for whatever reason. Maybe because it limits you from moving on. If you get all the way around and you still need more of them, it'll just send you through again, which is why there's a counter, there's a timer based on your rings that counts down. And you'll obviously lose rings if you run into things, you run into like the spike balls or whatever. So these can actually be like extremely tricky levels. This certainly is one of the harder parts of this run, is just getting through these special stages.
Oh, definitely. But hey, we got our first Chaos Fruit Loop, so very happy about that.
Yes.
So we're gonna pick Charmy, because, you know, it's not Knuckles' Chaotix anymore, it's Charmy's Chaotix.
Yes, Charmy is insanely broken in this game. Like, pretty much any run you try of this game, if you try it with Charmy, you're basically just playing easy mode. It's crazy. And Proto did nail down the combi catcher, maybe. I imagine it's combi or combination.
I'm thinking combi.
Yeah. You have to catch your partner in like a randomized little
like
claw catcher game. It is very precise. You have to be very precise with it to get the partner you want. And he has gone for Mighty because Mighty is pretty light, and so he doesn't add a lot of weight. You're not dragging around something heavy, such as the little robots that are exclusive to this game, Heavy and Bomb, who are pretty much the worst thing you could pick up, as they will, Heavy is very heavy and he'll slow you down, and Bomb will just randomly explode. So.
Yeah, they're basically like they're the joke characters of this game.
Yeah.
So, and there's some other mechanics, like we're dragging this other character along, but we're also calling them back. So the interesting thing with the callback mechanic is that, you know, you can, in case your character ever gets stuck within a stage or on a platform that you're not at, you can always call them back, you know, with the sacrifice of 10 rings. And now we're at negative rings, so that sounds very bad. But for the most part, it just knocks off 100 points from your bonus, and you actually don't get a score. It just leaves it right where it is. And I'm looking at the chat that yes, Mighty is basically just a Sonic sprite, basically. So
yeah.
And of course, we have 5 like zones that we're going into. So the first one we just hit was Techno Tower. We got some other ones as well, like Botanic Base, Speed Slider, Marina Madness, and Amazing Arena. Each one has their own mechanics and their own things that we gotta do. But we're also going into Amazing Arena right now, so I am going to let S2 talk about what is the gimmick.
Alright, so Amazing Arena has actually a couple special gimmicks. The main one that we're going to be focusing on here, if you see when we start off this level, it's very like dark in this level. It's kind of got a really washed out color palette, and as you see Proto hitting that button, there are lights you have to turn on in all of the Amazing Arena stages, and if you don't turn them on, if you can't find that button and don't turn them on, and you get to the post at the end, then it'll make you replay the level. So you actually have to turn on the lights. to beat the level. So that's another thing that Proto's gonna have to take care of. This actually can be quite the game to really juggle, especially this category, because you have to know which levels you want to get 50 rings to go for a special stage, and which levels you want to get 0 or negative rings to have a faster countdown. That can be very tricky. It can be extremely tricky, especially when you throw in other things like finding the light in this level. As you see here, he's picked up a monitor that changes who his partner is. So now we've got Vector along for the ride for a little bit, but he'll change back into Mighty very soon.
Yeah. So there are some monitors in here that are actually very useful to use in the game. Oh nope, I'm about to activate the mini boss by mistake. But that was about to be scary. But there actually are a lot of monitors in here that can be quite useful. Other ones not so much. And Mighty just went into the special stage. So
yeah, going back on what Proto was talking about right there, there are also mini bosses in the Amazing Arena stages that are just thrown out randomly, like throughout the stage. They're pretty easy, but it definitely takes a lot of time, so it's yet another thing to pay attention to.
Definitely. And my plan right now, but which plans can always change, I'm going to try to get as many of the Chaos Fruit Loops in not only Amazing Arena, but also with Botanic Base. And worst case scenario, my super emergency one will be Arena Madness with that. So it actually is not a viable thing to do to get them in like Techno Tower or Speed Slider, because you can breeze through those stages relatively quickly.
Yeah, because Amazing Arena and Botanic Base are so large as levels and they have so many rings in them, if you aren't spamming the call button, it's likely that you will get about 50 or more rings in them, so they're definitely the easiest places to go for the special stages compared to some of the other levels like Speed Sliders, where you're just going to see Proto absolutely blazing through them when we get to those.
Exactly. And once again, like we can see, it's getting a little bit more complex now with the special stages. So now there's a lot more areas where you can actually fall off. So it'll be considered a course out, and then you have to actually replay it at a later time. So
yeah, and you may have seen he also passed a splitting path, which was something that really interested me when I first started going through these special stages. I had assumed all of them would be kind of closed in, like on this hexagon figure, but they really can like branch out in tons of different ways. It's really interesting how massive some of the levels can be.
Yeah, and it really does show the power of the 32X, even though it was a failed add-on. Let's just be honest, a failed add-on to it. But
I do feel like that is true. It definitely does show off the 32X, and I think a lot of people who get a 32X even today are getting it for this game specifically.
And so Marina Madness. So I'm not gonna use like this. Like usually for like I usually don't use Marina Madness as like my emergency ones, but I'm not gonna use the first one because it's easy just to get through it. And also in Marina Madness, there are some special clips we can use to basically bypass certain parts of the level and make it a lot easier for us to get through.
Yes, Marina Madness is almost, actually I believe all of the levels are home to some very precise tricks that you can do, though most of them are not done by any of the runners because they're just insanely hard. But I think we'll see Proto use a couple of them maybe later on down the line.
Yeah.
They are really interesting and cool though. So if you ever watch a task for this game, it is because of the momentum you can build up with the tether system. There's a lot of places where clips are possible, and they can just be very hard sometimes.
Oh, definitely. And because once again, there was a secret bonus that I did hit somewhere. It could have been the orb. It could have been the change in monitor. So there is a monitor that does change your character. So I did change in the Knuckles right there. Of course, we have our shield, of course, as well as rings, but we also have the combi ring. And this is where that originated from. If you play Sonic Mania, you know the combi ring is actually in there. As well as we have these shrink and enlarge monitors. Basically, secondary, we want Mighty to basically be the one to grab the shrink monitor, and the enlarge monitor should go to Charmy. But sometimes the secondary character, wants to be kind of stingy and hit it. And if they hit a monitor, they get that particular ability. So if they hit a shield, they get the shield. And so on the Techno Tower too, where we have elevators
Game
that
has
we're going to
co-op,
avoid.
by the way.
So you
I just want to mention this game has co-op, and if you ever want to fight your friend, play co-op.
Oh yeah.
I actually must attest, I do enjoy the co-op of this game. I have done a co-op speedrun of this game in the past too. I personally believe it is very fun for a co-op experience if you can get along with the person you're playing with. But it might be infuriating. Also,
Oh, yeah,
now that
it
we've
probably
done a second level of a stage, you might be wondering, you know, most Sonic games have 2 levels in their zones, in their stages, or you know, some of them have 3. This one has 5 in each act, in 5 acts in each zone, I should say. It's a little confusing talking about Sonic levels and zones and acts and all that, but yeah, you've got to play each one 5 times.
Yes.
And the boss shows up on the 5th one.
Exactly. So we have 5 in total. So that's 25 levels right there. But taking consideration of the morning, day, evening, and dusk, basically there are 100 different combinations for these levels. That's a lot to deal with. And off to Amazing Arena 2.
Now, luckily, it's not too bad to memorize all of the levels because the daytime system generally doesn't change too much about the levels. The main things are the contents of monitors, and sometimes certain areas will be blocked off, but for the most part, it's not too bad to remember all of it. You can generally take the same routes for most of the differences in daytime.
And now I'm just trying to grab as many rings as I can because I don't want to use the callback button right now, just because I got 38 rings, I have a shield, and if Mighty gets hit, only loses 1 ring. So I'll take that over anything else. So that's why sometimes I might be, you know, hovering over a set of rings just so I can grab some more. And I think this might... Yep, nope, I'm good. I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, oh, should I go this way? Because it's been a while since I've played this game. So it's been a lot of de-rusting. Oh, now, yep, that was definitely the wrong direction. So, and yeah, sometimes you can basically go in wrong directions with Amazing Arena. You can go in the wrong direction and have to circle your way back around, which is what is happening right now. So actually, that's more than enough rings basically at this point.
This certainly puts the maze in Amazing Arena. It can be extremely confusing with these levels, and it can also look very samey a lot of the time. It's hard to tell where you're at.
Exactly. So that's why I'm usually out of here within, I would say within a couple minutes. So yeah, this was less than a minute, but just because I'm still trying to remember the layout of it. But hey, we got Knuckles. Hey, Knuckles is here.
Yeah,
and Knuckles is leaving.
For all these Knuckles fans in the chat.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that is a disappointing point of this run for some, is that the game called Knuckles Chaotix, you're very rarely playing with Knuckles, but I think the rest of the Chaotix also kind of deserves some of the love there. So.
Oh, definitely. So we're at Special State, Chaos Fruit Loop number 3, so now we gotta get 8 blue spheres. I know during the second half, I really am gonna need the focus, so there will be some focus time.
As I mentioned when we were first discussing the special stages, there is a huge ramp in difficulty in this special stage, and all of the special stages after it are really tricky. You have to definitely know what you're doing to be able to get through them quickly, and so it can be you know, very stressful part of the run. There's also a lot of times when you're switching from one surface to another, you can clip through the corners and fall out. So these are these are really not like, you know, they're not the most relaxing part of the run, I guess you could say.
Oh no, I agree with you on that. So, because like right now, I'm just like, stay calm, stay focused, and make it across at least. So,
Yes.
I know this is the stage where there is a branching pathway. We want to stay on the bottom path, basically, not the loop-de-loop path. But I'm gonna focus now. But enjoy the music as you go through this.
Yeah, not only the music in these stages, but also the music in the game in general is generally considered some of the best music in the Sonic franchise, and I honestly must agree. I think it is wonderfully orchestrated. But yeah, as you can see, this whole special stage can look very hectic. There's a lot of stuff coming at Proto all at the same time. Really, he's doing a good job weaving through everything and getting the limits and getting to the end of the stage.
And I missed one. I know right where I missed it at.
Yeah,
but you know, I might show off the loop-de-loop. I might show off the loop-de-loop if I can.
Yeah. This stage does have like only in that lap there's only 8 that you can get, so it can be, you know, it can be hard to get through this one fast. If you miss one, you will have to do it again. But luckily there is this loop which is much shorter than the route he just took, so we're gonna see him getting that final limit he needed and being able to go through right here. And that was one of those branching paths in these levels that I was talking about earlier, so it is actually kind of cool that we got to see both of them.
Yep. So, hey, we got the green Chaos Fruit Loop. So if you're eating Fruit Loops right now, that's really great for you.
Everybody go grab a bowl of fruit while you're watching. It'll make it a more immersive experience.
Definitely. So I believe we finished 2 levels so far of Amazing Arena. And now I think we're on our 3rd or 4th Techno Tower, and only 1 Marina Madness. So we haven't seen Botanic Base nor Speed Slider. So let's see. Up Techno Tower 3. So more Techno Tower goodness.
Yes, this game, if you hadn't figured out already, this game uses a system of basically randomly giving you the levels, since there's so many of each. There's 5 of each, so to kind of make it not so boring where you're just playing the same thing over and over, it's in a random order, but honestly, a lot of the times you'll get the same ones over and over anyways, so, you know, it combats what they were trying to do, but it maybe isn't the most effective way to do that.
And I know I got that secret bonus. I don't know where it came from. I feel like it might have been those speed shoes and everything. So, but we're good. Everything is nice and smooth. We gotta, you know, get that little lovely timer going down. You know, gonna be patient with it. And I'll say this, if you ever speedrun this game, your splits are gonna look very weird because of, like, just the randomness of the stages. In that you might be able to get, like, a few of the chaos rings quicker, and other ones might take a lot longer, which is kind of, it can be nerve-wracking for the most part.
Yes, absolutely. Hopefully we will be getting to see some of those other stages. Yeah, we'll be seeing a speed slider here. These ones are really fun because as the name implies, you can speed right through it, but I think Proto will be taking that to a whole nother level with
Yeah.
Just how
So
quickly you really can go.
yeah, so instead of going to the right, we're gonna go up. And now we're gonna go to the right. Oh, okay, I just bounced off of something, but we're good. And yes, that can happen sometimes where your character starts glitching through stuff. Hence why we got the callback button.
Yep,
Uh-oh.
that is why. Oh, this game does have a tendency to freeze up sometimes on both emulator and real hardware. Let me make that clear. I have seen the game just stop like this on real hardware, and this is unfortunately a problem I've had that has killed many of my runs in this game. So we can really only pray that this game comes back quickly.
Oh jeez.
This is just unfortunately some 32x shenanigans that can happen. So everybody pray for this run to continue.
Yeah, come on people, let's bless the run. Bless the run. Bless the run.
Yes. It's moving a little bit. It's moving a little bit. We're seeing some good signs.
Give the game your energy.
Yes. Oh.
It hasn't crashed yet.
It hasn't crashed. If it does though.
Big yet.
If it does though, you might have noticed at the beginning of the game, Proto chose autosave for his save file. So if we determine that it will not keep going, which hopefully is not the case, he can reset and keep playing on his save file, and he would just have to redo this level.
Yeah.
But we are hoping that is not the case. We are hoping the game will come back very soon.
Yeah.
It just needs to get through spinning the sign.
Yes,
if
we can get back,
sign.
we can get back in. It should be okay.
Yeah, we had this game featured by Chaotix on Never Before Seen, which is the bi-weekly show that I that I host, and it did a similar thing. It did not last quite this long,
yeah.
But Knuckles Chaotix heard we were ahead of schedule and was like, "I got you, fam."
Yeah, it's like,
yes.
I got you. Let's ruin this. Like, I'm finna ruin this whole career right now. Let's do this. Let's ruin this.
I almost without fail have this happen to me in my Techno Towers. So if you want to see a Knuckles Chaotix speedrunner get mad, just watch us play this game and have this happen to us in the middle of a good run. It can seriously be frustrating.
Yeah. So I say, do we want to try to give it another minute?
Yeah, it's looking like it might be going through. I'm not sure. What are you thinking?
Like, it's moving. It's chugging really hard right now.
It is. Yes, it also does seem to happen a lot on the signposts for some reason. I'm not sure what it is, but the game just does not like how it handles the signposts for some reason.
It is still spinning.
It is still spinning. We're getting a very slow advancement of the frames. So I don't know how long it would take. But
well, for me, it's gonna look like it's been 2 minutes already.
Yeah.
And yes, let's test this off for science and let's see what happens. Maybe it's the negative 19 rings that caused the issue.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't think anybody really knows why this happens, but it can be frustrating. Maybe I'd say Sega is really ahead of their time with this one. They were just trying to show off like the Sonic 06 loading screens, I think.
God, not even the Sonic 06 loading screens is this bad.
Yeah. So.
And you can quote me on that tomorrow with the second run, because we do have an 06 run coming up.
Oh yeah.
32X is having it's having a day.
Yes, this could be the maybe perhaps the reason that 32X didn't do as well as Sega hoped. Specifically the signpost in Knuckles Chaotix.
Yeah. Still going.
No, y'all are saying like this is why emulation is better than physical hardware. This happens on emulator too.
Yes.
This happens on both emulator and physical hardware. Yes, I do not. I honestly,
we can all agree upon that.
Yeah, I honestly don't know much about the hardware of the 32X. I would be interested if somebody does know more about it. If there was like different revisions of the 32X, maybe a different model would not have this issue, but it can be very frustrating to get this glitch for sure. So if we could find a way to get rid of it somehow, that would be awesome.
Well, I think the post is still spinning. I'm like, oh, it's about to stop spinning.
It looked like it might be.
I thought it was on the last one. I'd like to admire. I actually remember seeing the Eggman sprite on the side of the clear sign. I thought it was an upside down pineapple.
An
no, I thought it was actually a pineapple. I was like, oh, is that a palm tree or a pineapple? And someone was like, it's Eggman.
To be fair, if you do not have this occurrence, you will not spend that much time looking at the side of the signpost in this game. But,
yeah. And even like when you think about it, like even like this is a good time to talk about the music of the game. Beautiful music.
Oh yeah.
I would say I love.
Is the music going? I don't have audio. Is the music going at regular speed right now?
Yes, it is. It is going at regular speed while the game is chugging along.
Yeah.
The game just doesn't know what to do with itself.
It really is strange. I wish I knew why it did this, but it is really as much of a mystery as everybody else.
I would love someone to fix the game's code so it wouldn't do this. I think everyone is just invested on seeing whether or not the game crashes.
Yes. Yes,
and I think it's still
spinning. It is still spinning.
But we were done! I was like, hey, we made it! Nope.
And as soon as we get out of this, you'll most likely see the game just pick right back up at regular speed, as if this never happened.
As if it never happened.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But hey, because we'll be clearing most of the speed sliders in like, under 30 seconds, or like around that time frame, it is kind of cool that we do get to hear the full track out this way. Because normally you would not get to hear more than the first 20 seconds of it, pretty much.
Yeah.
Please, pineapple. Thanks, Hypnotix. But no, seriously, for those who are wondering what is going on, this is just the game having a fit. This is not a tech issue on on anyone's end. This is just the game
Just
doing its
it's a
thing.
tech issue on Sega's end.
Yeah.
Get a mod pull up for if this is the final spin or not. We can guess on it.
I say this is the final spin.
Flamboyant potato.
We're getting there. Oh, so close. Who's gonna win, the pineapple or the bee?
Wait, where's oh, there. Yo, Richard with the pineapple on the screen.
I can't see it on mine, but that's fine. I'll look at it. I'll watch it later. We got pineapple tech right now. Still spinning.
I really want to shout out, like, we have Richard for the rest of the night, but I want to shout out Richard and Railcoon for doing tech for this show. Just like, y'all are awesome and are part of what Oh god, excuse me, has been keeping this event going.
Yeah. And I love how they're... I love the poll. Will there be another spin?
I think that is why the game lags out so hard. It is just so hard to render a 4K JPEG of a pineapple immediately in there.
The pineapple just slowly fading frame by frame across the screen.
Absolutely brilliant.
I think we need to make a... another thing on speedrun.com just called pineapple percent. Like just
Pineapple percent. See
basically
how quickly you can get it to do this?
exactly.
Yes. Yeah. It might be worth resetting. I'm not sure how you're feeling about that.
Well, it's been I'm looking at my splits. It's been about 4 minutes. So if this is not the last spin, then we might need to take like a quick break to do a quick reset.
Yeah.
So is this the
Luckily-
last spin? What's the poll gonna say? You know, like some of my friends are watching this right now. Some of them said like, "Oh, Eggman looks like the Lorax."
Eggman looks like the Lorax!
So I know there was a question like, why do we have negative 19 rings? So whenever you use the callback button, you will lose 10 rings just to get your character back beside you. So, it stopped moving. Nope, it's still going. Okay.
It's still going.
Nope, alright,
You
yeah.
might want to
Amber,
reset.
I think...
So Amber, is it all right for us to take like a couple minutes to do a quick reset?
Yeah, we can go to a very quick break screen while we figure out our lives here. And oh my god, I don't know if chat wants to like say goodbye to the pineapple.
Yeah, so everybody wave bye to the pineapple.
Oh, there's two of them.
Oh god, there's 3 of them. I'm losing it. Oh my god. Alright, yeah, we're gonna go to a quick break while we get this figured out.
Alrighty.
Hi, welcome back. We're back. We have reset the console. The game should be okay, we hope. Thankfully, autosave was a thing. And Protosonic, let's just get right back into it. Some say the pineapple is still spinning to this day, but we need to get the run going, so...
Exactly. So hopefully everybody said goodbye to the pineapple, and hopefully that doesn't happen again. So I'm gonna give a countdown just to continue the timer for that. So I'm gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I gotta make sure to go back and pick Charmy again, because you gotta do that. So
Oh yeah.
that's interesting for the most part. And we gotta
Yes.
we gotta pick Mighty again. So let's see if it happens. Will I pick somebody else? And that's a no. We're going back to Mighty.
Able to get that very quick. That claw moves extremely quickly. It can actually be very hard to get Mighty in that when you are trying to get him. It moves a lot quicker than you'd think. So it is good that Proto both times is able to get Mighty. Hopefully we will not be be stuck on any more signposts, but we'll still get a couple glimpses of our pineapple friend in between levels, so not
Yeah.
worry too much.
What if I
But we're going
done?
back to Speed Slider, so
We're going back.
Can you talk about Speed Slider once again, S2, as I
Yes,
play through it?
So for anybody who did not see our first take of Speed Slider about 5 or so minutes ago, this level is extremely short. You can really speedily slide through it. Only a handful of seconds, which we are going to start doing. And as long as the game decides to keep working, then we'll be seeing some really cool time.
And we made it through Speed Slider 1.
We made it.
I was watching.
That is how
the game.
that is how that signpost is supposed to work. Not take 5.5 minutes or more.
Oh no, that was about 5 minutes 40 seconds, and it was
Yeah.
still spinning.
Yes. So who knows how long that could have gone on for. Some say no, some say it's still spinning. But we have exited Pineapple Purgatory, and we are now back into this run.
Yeah. And so we're actually going to Botanic Base. So there is no Green Hill stage. This is like the closest to Green Hill, quotation marks, that we will have in this not Sonic game. Because, this is Charmy's Chaotix at this point. Featuring Mighty.
So Botanic Base is actually just like Amazing Arena. These levels are generally like really big and have a lot of rings in them. So maybe not the first act, but we'll definitely see in some of the other Botanic Bases, we'll see Frodo going for some special stages. And I also saw he went for the clip in this level through that one wall. Most of the clips you're gonna see in this game are on generally like sloped ceilings. They can be easy to flip through compared to like a flat wall or something. So we'll see some interesting stuff throughout with that.
So, I mean, that's the thing right there. Like, there are some clips that we can do. Like, Botanic Base 1 has it. Marina Madness 2 and 3 has it. I know there's one in Marina Madness 5, and I think those are the only ones that's the only ones I know of. And I don't do all of them. I know Hypnotix does all the ones that I just mentioned with that.
Yeah. A lot of these clips, like, for example, the one that he just went for in Botanic Base 1, they can save like a tiny bit of time, but even like retrying them once usually loses the time. A lot of them don't cover that much distance and aren't very important. I will mention there's another clip you didn't mention, the ones in Marina Madness 1, Marina Madness 4, Amazing Arena 3, and Amazing Arena 5.
I didn't know about those ones.
I just recently found the Amazing Arena clips. But there have been, lots of like weird shenanigans. So there's kind of clips in every level, but they need to be dug up and found in a way where people can actually do them consistently. That's really the thing about it.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I think I just lost my chance to get those lovely Chaos Fruit Loops in this stage.
Maybe not. There's some more rings throughout the level. We'll see. I'm not too sure. I'm not 100%
there's one right there.
knowledgeable.
I'm trying to at least have something. And yep, we just got enough.
Nice.
Literally just enough.
Able to recover it right at the end. That's awesome. Of course, Botanic Base with its lots of enemies and need for rings in this category can be kind of a frustrating level. And in my opinion, the existence of a Botanic Base implies that there is also a Botanic Cringe. And I would say maybe in this category, we're really playing the Botanic Cringe.
Yes. And since I've only came in here with 50 rings by itself, this is going to be a lot more challenging because the more rings you have, it does represent your timer. And if you get hit, you do lose rings, and that means you lose time.
That is true. Like I was saying earlier, these special stages after the first two are insanely hard, and being on a close timer and having to make sure you don't hit anything can just make it even more of a challenge. Especially with these where you have to bounce backwards for them. It can really take up a bit of time to have to walk backwards and then forwards and wait for all of that to go down. So it can be quite the challenge if you can't get like a big stockpile of rings.
Yeah, and right there, that is you have no choice but to get hit by that. So
Yes.
We're putting ourselves at a much higher risk right now.
Yeah, there are a lot of these obstacles in these that are just so hard to avoid, especially if you're not on top of the gameplay and know exactly where you're at all times. Because I don't know, personally, I find it kind of hard to memorize these stages just the way that they're built. it can be like really weird to remember where you're at a lot of times.
Oops,
So
I was be in the wrong direction. I was about
can
to
be-
go in the completely wrong direction and fall off. So I know I'm wasting time by just constantly going back and forth, but I'm at least trying to make sure I grab as many of these as possible. So
yeah, you have to
at least I got
make
that.
sure that you get as many as possible in these levels. They can seriously be punishing with how strict they are about getting all of them or not getting all of them.
Yeah. So we're gonna be cutting it close. So will we make it? That's the question of the day.
Yes. You can see we are picking up a few rings to keep that counter up, but it's generally staying at around 30, so or 20, between 20 and 30. So we're really gonna have to play quickly and not get hit and just be really on top of the gameplay here. But it's
Yeah.
looking like we did it, and that is a very impressive feat of Proto to be able to finish that stage like that under such harsh conditions.
Oh no, definitely. So hey, we got the, let's say, strawberry at this point. Strawberry
The
fruit.
strawberry. We are massing quite the bowl of Fruit Loops here.
So on to the next stage. What are we gonna hit? We don't know. So it might be Techno Tower. Or no, Marina Madness. So we are actually gonna show one of those lovely clips that we are gonna do here. I'm gonna have S2 explain it while I attempt it. And honestly, this helps us get through the stage much faster. So
Yes,
S2,
so-
take it away.
Alright, so basically you're going to see one of those slanted ceilings I was talking about earlier, and you're going to see Proto flying at it. He's either trying to just straight up clip through it with Mighty's insane flying speed, or get, Charmy's flying speed, or get Mighty through, which he did. And Mighty will, usually on these clips, Mighty will be the one that goes through, because with the tether mechanic, you can just get so much speed. So he was able to just push Mighty right through there, and he went through that floor, or that ceiling, up to a way later part of the level, which is awesome. And you'll see, I think you'll see, you said you go for the Marina Madness 3 clip as well?
Yes, I do.
Yes,
And
and you'll be-
I know
you'll
I'm
be
gathering
seeing-
extra rings when I shouldn't, but I'm going to use, just to play it safe, just to keep time going, I'm going to use Marina Madness as my emergency.
Yes, it is, especially with how hard these special stages can be, it is really a good idea to play safer and go for them whenever you have a lot of rings.
Yeah. So, welcome to special stage number 5, if I got that correctly, and I just got hit. Whoops.
This one is really one of the weirder looking special stages in my opinion. With this
Oh,
big
it
like
definitely is.
open area where you're running on the outside of the shape instead of the inside and running around it. And it actually is kind of like cool to watch the 32x render this massive thing all at once. It's kind of baffling how it can have the power for this but not for a signpost.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll see some really cool 3D effects that the 32X is capable of here, and this one is actually kind of fun. It does take a little bit of like knowing where you're at and making sure that you get as many of these limits as possible for this one, because this is another one like that one earlier where you kind of have to make sure you pick up all of them, and this last one can be especially hard to get. But
Yeah.
Proto able to get it here.
Yeah,
Got
because like
this
you're literally
down in
hanging
one
off the
cycle.
edge.
Yeah, you are very, and you have to go all the way around that spike thing, but you can't hit it, so that is a very tight one to get, and it is actually really hard to do that in one cycle like Proto just did. Also doing these short hops there to not have to bounce back on the wall. His movement here is extremely solid. I must say, you're doing a lot better than I usually do on these special stages.
Uh-oh. Can we make it?
Oh.
Whew. Okay. Sometimes you can get stuck on walls, and if you get
Yeah.
stuck, you're basically done.
it can be even worse on bumpers too. It's possible to get stuck on both bumpers and walls because when you run into something, a lot of times your character will stop. And if they keep bouncing, sometimes they just never build up enough momentum to actually get back running. So it's another thing you gotta watch out for.
There we go.
Nicely done. Adding another Fruit Loop.
Yep.
Marble.
And basically, I'm trying to line myself up at least so that we don't have to loop around. Because sometimes you will be forced to do that on particular ones, but you know, if you line yourself up in the middle of that checker flag, you'll be good to go. And hey, we got a grape Fruit Loop. I mean, I don't know, do they even have grape Fruit Loops? Because I have not. I mean, honestly, I have a
They have the
bowl
purple
of
ones,
Fruit Loops.
yeah.
I have Fruit Loops in my house.
I must confess I've not had Fruit Loops in a very long time.
Well, when I found out about Sonic and the Side Quest, I literally took a picture of a box of Fruit Loops that when I was at the store, and I mentioned Amber and Hibben, and like, you want your Fruit Loops? Here's your Fruit Loops. But hey, we're back at Techno Tower, am I right?
Yeah.
And so when we generally skip that elevator right there just because that elevator is so slow. Like, to anybody that wants to learn how to play this game, Techno Tower elevators avoid at all costs.
Yes. They really, just like the elevators in Botanic Base, if you go into them, it'll just stop for a second before it actually starts moving. So even though it only moves about like, you know, like the height of like maybe 3 characters, it takes so much longer than if you just go around it. It saves quite a lot of time to actually get it down right.
Yep.
We're actually getting into the
avoid that
later
secret
stages.
bonus.
Yes, avoid secret bonuses. If you can figure out where they're at and go around them, it's important. But we're actually getting into the later stages of some of our levels like Techno Tower, so maybe we'll start seeing some bosses soon, which can be kind of exciting. This game has some interesting bosses, to say the least.
Yep, and we only have 1 Chaos Fruit Loop left and a whole bunch of stages that we can potentially use for it, so
that is true.
Let's see what happens. Hey, we get to see that clip. We get to see another clip. Marina Madness 3.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
Marina Madness.
because same thing, like we're gonna use that incline that's on the top of a ceiling, like the one that's right about here, and we're gonna just bounce back and forth, fly back and forth. Hopefully, oh, there we go. We got the clip.
Very
And
quickly
hopefully,
done.
Mighty starts moving. There we go.
Mighty is very prone to getting stuck after the clip, and usually you have to call him back and restart the whole thing, but Proto was actually able to get him to start moving again. Very impressive, and this clip saves even more time than the Marina Madness 2 clip. I'd say if there's one clip to learn, it's this one. Like, that was a 24-second Marina Madness 3 compared to the probably close to 2 minutes you would get from playing it regularly. It saves quite a lot of time. And it's not the hardest trick in the world. It is very difficult, but that was very expertly done, I must say.
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking at the chat at the same time. So yes, Fruit Loop is spelled F-R-O-O-T, not F-R-U-I-T. So you're absolutely right about that, Akuma.
That is true. Yeah.
So where are we going next? Techno Tower 5,
Techno
very
Tower.
first boss.
Yes.
And it only took us about 50 minutes to get to a boss. I mean, unless you count the pineapple as a boss.
Yeah, that is true. The pineapple is the real boss of this game, I'd say.
I like how I've noticed, like, I've been practicing, like, earlier today, and I'm just like, you know what? Let's hit that. And that's the downside. So the downside is Mighty hit the enlargement. So now, yes, he's a wrecking ball. He's destructive. However, the problem is that, well, he's kind of too big. And he's kind of getting stuck on stuff.
Yeah. And you actually want the size up monitor as Charmy because I mean, Charmy is already pretty small, so it's not that much of a hindrance to get it. But being big also makes you extremely fast, and compared, you know, put together with, I should say, Charmy's already insane speed. It just makes him very fast. And now you see that Mighty has been reduced down to Charmy's size with the size down monitor. So we got to see some fun with those monitors.
I mean, the great perk is I think I can throw. Nope, still can't throw.
Yeah, you can't throw up as Charmy for some reason.
So that's the interesting perk. If we never got a chance to talk about all the other characters, because we did talk about the joke characters of Heavy and Bomb.
Yeah.
But we never talked about the abilities of the other characters. So Mighty, well, let's start with Charmy, because he's the main headliner of this. And I might be left with 1 ring. And nope, -9, perfect.
Nice.
But it still gave me the 100 ring bonus. But Charmy, the great perk of Charmy is, well, infinite flight. And the downside is that since he is the lightest and the smallest character, he actually can't pick up anybody. He can hold them, but he can't throw them.
He can throw them a very short distance forward, but he can't throw them up, which is pretty much the most useful direction you're ever going to throw characters as any other character. So it is kind of a draw, but with how quick Charmy is and how good being able to literally fly over everything is, he's still by far the best character.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, we got the recolor, basically, of Sonic, Mighty, the Armadillo, which, you know, he has the same abilities as Sonic, you know, super speed and everything.
He does,
but he
get
also has
one
that,
new ability.
like that wall kick ability, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he can cling onto a wall for about a second and jump off of it. A little, like, nice wall kick, wall jump thing. And we've got Knuckles, who obviously has his signature glide and climbing walls. Got Espio, who can walk on walls, which in my opinion is kind of the most useless of all of the abilities, but you know, it's still cool, and he has that cool spin dash, so Mighty fans, or I mean, not Mighty fans, Espio fans, I respect you. Yes. And we've got Vector, who's really heavy and can throw really far, but his ability is a little dash in any direction.
Yeah, so yeah, he is like an 8-way dash basically, and he can turn into a donut. Yeah,
he turns into a donut. He's awesome. I think that's all the characters in the game. You've got, for those of you who are really into the lore of this game, you've got Wechnia, the glitch character, who's just a carbon copy of Mighty, which has the same wall kick.
Yes. But it was supposed, if I remember correctly, I think in the original prototype of this game, like it did have some properties of Tails as well.
Yes,
you know,
that's
of course,
correct.
Originally this game was originally supposed to be called Sonic Crackers, you know, with Sonic and Tails being, you know, tethered together with that lovely combi ring.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that prototype with Sonic and Tails in it, of Sonic Crackers, it's available out there online if you ever want to look into it. It's an interesting little play. It's obviously, you know, not finished at all and not really that playable, but it is kind of interesting to look into it and see, you know, what changed. Because it is a very different prototype from the Knuckles Chaotix we got. But to be honest, I think we all can agree that Knuckles Chaotix is a very cool game as it is. And I think all of us Knuckles fans are glad that we got a Knuckles game.
Oh, I would agree with you on that. I mean, it's definitely interesting. I mean, sadly, we don't play as Knuckles in this game, but it is fun that Knuckles got his own game. I mean, Tails got his own game. And, oh, what is he, like, what, Sonic's best friend? We need, you know, Sonic's rival to have a game as well.
Yes. It's pretty cool to see some of these little spin-off games like that get made. I wish they were still making them. Knuckles Chaotix 2 when, but until we see that, keep playing the gems that we have.
Well, I would love for me personally, I would love for this game to get a re-release, like on the
Oh,
Switch or
yeah.
something, or anywhere basically. Because I know originally this game was supposed to be on Sonic Gems collection, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, it was cut. I imagine just for difficulty, especially at the time and in emulating 32X. But it would have been amazing to see this game on Sonic Gems. But you know, with the Sega Ages ports, it is possible that maybe one day we will see this game come to maybe Switch or something. So
Yeah.
If I recall, Sega Ages is no longer doing ports. I think that studio's just done.
Oh, now I'm sad.
Yeah. Well, then I have.
Me too.
I have been misinformed, or rather,
I
I've
will say right
misinformed
there,
all of you.
for level 3, this is on level 3. Basically, that's a beginner's track right there. If you go past that switch to turn the lights on, you're locked. And you hit this one right here, you're basically locked out. There's no way to go back, and if you don't hit a light switch, you are forced to restart the stage.
Yes, it is something that you have to make sure you hit, because if you go past it, you will be stuck, and you'll have to redo the whole thing, which can obviously take quite a bit of time.
Yeah. So hopefully, are there any more? I don't think I'm gonna have enough. Not enough rings. That is a no.
Yep.
But that's fine. I mean, we still got, Arena 4, as well as still the rest of Botanic Base as well. So
yeah, we have.
I'm gonna try
have
for Arena 4 at least. As I said, depending on how you play the stage and what stages you get, because it is random in regards to like where the spotlight lands on. It basically, your split's gonna look weird if you do the best ending.
Yeah.
So, but don't have that many stages left to use. So let's hope, fingers crossed, bless this stage, bless Botanic Base, that we can get it.
Yeah, Botanic Base, I believe this is 3?
I believe so, yes.
I am so bad at keeping track of which one we're even on, but this stage is pretty big, so hopefully we'll be able to pick up those rings and finish off our Fruit Loops quest here. Get a full bowl for a nutritious breakfast.
I'm gonna try to grab as many monitors as I possibly can and just play it safe.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna get something over here, but probably not. There we go. Now the question is, what is over here? Is it up? That's mine. There we go. Now this is super charming,
Nice.
I like to call it.
You get to see that insane movement speed I was talking about earlier, of just Charmy being big and fast.
Army grew up.
Yes.
But
He got big.
unfortunately,
He got big. He became a lunk. And now he's tiny again. Let's see, let's go up. Go here. Let's play it safe. Because I have enough. I have more than enough. And this is good for safety purposes.
yes, especially with how difficult this level can be, this special stage. You definitely do not want to run out of time. But
Yes.
we are nearing the end of this special stage collection. So afterwards, Proto can kind of sit back and just make sure he has negative rings every time, rather than having to figure out which levels he doesn't have to, get the special stages in. It can be a little bit of a relief, honestly. These
Yeah.
special stages are one of the, especially if you're very comfortable with beat the game and not as comfortable with best ending, it can be very stressful, specifically in special stages. I would say they're probably the hardest part of the whole game.
Definitely. I would definitely say at the second half. So the second half of this is going to be pure focus time. because of
Yes.
how the layout is going to be. As you can see,
Yes.
they're putting a lot more of these bottomless pits around, as well as, you know, not gonna say bone saws, but circular saws at this point, as well as a lot of just safety measures that they put in there that you only get like one shot to use.
Yes, in the second half of this, it can almost feel like an actual platformer in itself. There really is a lot of just like pits to get around and all of that. So it can be definitely scary.
Yep. So now we only got 14 blue spheres left, and it's officially focus time. So, you know, blast this in the chat. Blast this last half.
It is blessing time. But we'll be seeing like some big areas where he's gonna have to jump over these boxes and like bottomless pits and like dams of the spike balls. This special stage is really the final test of like the special stages in general. It also throws in these green spheres. I guess the green and yellow spheres kind of show up throughout, but I hadn't talked about them yet. So the green spheres and yellow spheres make you do jumps, and the green ones launch you up really high, and the yellow ones launch you forward really quickly. So they're both like springs, basically. They're basically the springs of the special. It can be, as you see, making huge jumps across. There's a lot to be careful about in this stage. But afterwards, it's pretty much just a straight shot through all of the levels. So once we get out of here, get to just enjoy some of that good Knuckles Chaotix music and watch Proto really fly through those levels.
We got it. We got all the Fruit Loops. We got them.
Did it.
Part of a nutritious
try.
breakfast.
Yeah.
My heart was
actually
pumping
didn't
right
even,
there.
yeah. No fails on the special stages. That is actually a really quite a feat.
Yes, and more importantly, we are now guaranteed the best ending with our tropical blue Fruit Loop. So now is just time really just to speed through the game. So we did talk about a lot of the different mechanics of it as well, but I'm gonna enjoy the moment at this time because I'm excited with just doing that one, because that last special stage is the hardest of them all. So that's the scary part. That is the hardest of all of them. So, and yes, the Chaos Fruit Loop Pyramid has been formed. The food pyramid has been formed. So welcome to Botanic Base 4.
Now that we aren't going for any of the special stages, we're gonna see Proto trying to keep his rings low instead of trying to gather up as many rings as possible. So a big change in gameplay style.
You know what? Just for fun, let's get Knuckles in here. For you Knuckles boys, we have him. He's here. For everybody, if you love Knuckles, he's here, and he is, hitting buttons for us.
Get to see him up close and personal with that call mechanic.
Yeah.
That is true, actually. Somebody brought this up. If you do collect the rings and go back into the special stages after you've completed all of them, you can play them again in wireframe, which is basically the floors and stuff are all transparent except for the outlines. I find it to be a little bit of a headache, and there's no real reward for doing the wireframe stages. It's just kind of a cool little...
Sound horrible.
It's just kind of a little feature of the game, but it is... Yeah, I cannot really recommend doing them because there's no point.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe if you want a good laugh or
yeah, it's
a challenge or something.
It's a cool little Easter egg, but it's it's not it's not really that much.
Yeah, and people are now saying we prefer the term knuckleheads. So shout out to all the knuckleheads out there. You
Nice.
saw Knuckles for probably a good 20 seconds. We're back to Mighty and Charmy because it's Charmy's Chaotix. We're not gonna use Knuckles anymore. Charmy is like, I'm taking over the game now. This is my turn.
One thing I actually do want to mention, now that we've got all of our Chaos Fruit Loops, like you said, we're guaranteed the best ending of the game, or the good ending of the game. Yes, that does mean there is a bad ending that we won't be seeing, but it is very infamous for how bad it is. You watch the final boss of the game just tear down a city that's on fire. So very, very one of those bad endings in the game where it really is a bad ending.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no-
Basically, everything's on fire.
There is no pull on that punch, so we won't be seeing it, but if you have seen anything about the game before, it may be that bad ending. End of a meme.
And the great, like, and I'm actually holding on to some rings because we're actually in a boss level. So boss levels, generally you want to have some rings on you at least, because you never know if you get hit accidentally or anything like that. Because yes, if you do run out of rings, let's say you are at 0 to or a negative amount, you will, if you do get hit, you will lose that character. Basically, you got like hit points basically, and basically if you get hit twice without any rings, you have to restart the stage.
Yeah, it is actually kind of strange, so I am gonna take a minute to explain how that system works, because it is really counterintuitive. If you get hit without rings, you'll lose your partner, and if you get hit again before your partner comes back in like 10 or 15 seconds or something like that, just a short wait before he comes back. But if you get hit before he comes back, then you'll die, and you just have to start over the stage. There is not a life counter, and there's no continues, obviously, because there's no lives. You can just keep playing, you know, there's just not lives in the game.
Yeah. And so here's our boss. We got this little, I would say like claw-esque, but we actually are gonna wedge ourselves, you know, in between the good old doctor. And let's see if we can get as many hits as we possibly can, because I think I can get 2 hits every time. So that will be, you know, good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe there is a Sonic Mania boss based on this
The design,
boss.
yes.
Yeah, the design.
Metallic Madness, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I just noticed that.
Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, it's like one of those little capsule machines.
Yeah.
But it's
Yes.
it's based on that boss. That
Yeah,
game
so,
actually
like-
has quite a few nods to this game. Pretty cool to see some of those references come back.
Oh, exactly.
The mid phase of the Metal Sonic fight, for example, that the machine that he attaches himself to and summons Silver Sonic from Sonic 2 8-bit
Yes.
is very similar to the machine he latches himself into in the first half of the final boss fight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One thing I must say Mania dropped the ball with was not giving Mighty back his wall jump.
Wall kick!
I would have liked to see that come back, but I can forgive them because Mania was still a good game.
Yeah. So let's get through Speed Slider 4 in a relatively quick manner. So generally I can get through this stage within... Actually... Oh wait, this is not... I thought this was
This is
Speed Slider.
Speed Slider 3, yeah.
Oh, it's 3. Ooh.
Yeah, this is 3.
I'm like, wait, where am I going? I'm like, what's... Oh, that's why. I'm going in the wrong direction.
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute, I thought this was Speed Slider 4. But we should be fine now.
Yeah.
Whoops.
We'll still get a pretty good time here anyways, because we've done a good job of covering this. But yeah, these I mean, you have to play through 25 levels. Or technically with the final boss and the tutorial 30 levels in like consecutive session, and a lot of them look very samey. So it can be very hard to hard to remember which one you're on.
Oh, definitely.
No blame there. I think we've
I
all
thought I
done
was
it
on
at
4.
some
I was
point.
like, oh, let's just breeze right through this. But I didn't show it off for Speed Slider 3. You can actually just go straight up with that one as well.
I think we've all done that at some point where we thought we were on a different level than we're at and go completely the wrong way.
Yeah.
But still very speedy, under 40 seconds. Like, not a bad time at all.
Yeah. Like that would be a good, if you did it flawlessly, you'd be like about maybe 20 seconds for the most part.
Yeah.
But hey, we're at Marina Madness 5. Yep. Had to remember, like I'm trying to keep them memorized in my head right now as we speak. So we do now have to hit these mandatory buttons. Some of them are mandatory. Most aren't.
Yes, these buttons, again, like the elevators, have kind of a startup time. They can be annoying, but like Proto said, there's really not a whole lot we can do about it. And here he's going for a clip actually in these levels. This clip is very hard, so I will be impressed. I will be extremely impressed if he gets it.
Oh,
I
thought I had it for a second.
Uh,
I'm gonna try 2 more times, and that's it.
Yeah.
And this is the last one. Nope.
It is a very difficult trick. I don't even go for it in my runs. And
I know
go
Hypnotics
for, like,
goes for it.
Yes, I have no idea. Shout out to him because I have no idea how he does it. It is insanely hard.
Yeah. And if I was to get it successfully, the big perk would be that basically you would be halfway through the stage. So you'll see like where the red bumper is, like right over there on my right hand side. We would actually be right there.
Yeah. That would have definitely saved a lot of time, but like I said, it is just such a hard strategy to hit.
Exactly. So we're gonna actually avoid that button because that actually sends you backwards. There we go. So so I'm thinking, if I remember this boss, this is the waiting game boss, and you'll know why in a second. But shout outs to those lovely 32x graphics. Look at those polygons.
Yeah, we can make polygons, so we should.
And even better, we can make the polygons spin.
The mandatory polygon viewing right here.
And yes, Mighty's the only one that can get hit right now.
Yeah, Charmy is actually too
slowly
small.
drop.
Charmy is actually too short to get hit by this. In my opinion, this is one of the harder bosses in the game.
Oh, almost had it. Almost had the wedge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is just because of those rotating triangles that go around him that do damage to him. It's not, it's obviously not too bad, especially when you can just hang Mighty over him and just let him do all the damage, but it can be hard to not get hit sometimes on that one, so it's a little bit tricky sometimes.
Oh, exactly. So, hey, that was the waiting game boss. So that does take you actually have to wait there for like a good 15 to 20 seconds just to show off that lovely 32x, power. But hey, we only have a couple set of stages left. So we have Speed Slider 4 and Amazing Arena 4.
Yeah. We're definitely on the home stretch here.
Yeah. So I know for a fact we will go over estimate, but just because of, the pineapple. Shout out to the pineapple.
Shout out to the pineapple.
The pineapple indeed.
We do have an interesting set of levels left though. The shortest levels in the game and the longest levels in the game.
Yep.
But
and let's get to the shortest.
your Proto is going to be taking an extremely fast route, letting him finish extremely quickly here. This is one of the most satisfying levels to learn just because of how fast you can run through this level.
Oh look, I'm done.
Like seriously, yeah, that's under 15 seconds for the whole level. It's really fun to just play that and just see that right there.
Yeah.
For those who are just joining, the pineapple joke that we're making, earlier in the run, we spent about 5 minutes. Like, the game has this tendency, no matter whether you're playing on hardware or if you're playing on emulation, the game tends to hang and freeze and think about crashing, but not necessarily quite crash. We waited for about five minutes or so for this signpost to stop spinning. And on the side of the signpost, there's a Eggman silhouette that is yellow. That when I first saw it, I was like, oh, is that a palm tree or a pineapple? And then people started calling it a pineapple. Chat kind of, Twitch chat did its thing. Yeah. So
But you can call it
we
whatever
were
you want.
blaming
It's
the
the pineapple. It's the Lorax. Go whatever you want.
God, the Lorax. But yeah, we did lose about 5 minutes because everyone got very invested in seeing if the game would crash or not.
We never...
Before we finally...
We did end up resetting. We never got a true answer as to what happened. Maybe someday they'll let us do a pineapple stream. We'll just let it keep going until it uncrashes or does crash. So we'll never know for now, though. Be one of those gaming issues.
Yeah. And I just took a completely different route. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, what am I doing? But we're gonna hold on to the good old armadillo, and hey, we're right here.
This boss, I would say is hard, like the hardest boss in the game. Because as you can see by this little cutscene here, it might be kind of hard to tell what it is, but once we get into it, it'll be more apparent. This boss is based on like a carousel, keeping up with like the whole you know, maybe like carnival theme of the game, and you actually get pushed to the right. Like he's getting pushed backwards, and those things that move up and down will hit you.
On.
So this boss is crazy hard, and you can get stuck in that corner too a lot of the time.
No.
You'll
don't
get
have that many
stuck.
rings. Oh, whew. Ooh. That was perfect timing. That was perfect
close.
timing.
That was very close.
Woo.
That was stressful to watch.
It was, because
Man.
once again, one of the easiest things you can do with this is grab Mighty and let him basically use him as a big old shield.
Yeah.
And it works, but as Two said, you get pushed back because of how tiny Charmy is, and those carousels actually have spikes on them, so it's not pretty if you get stuck in there.
It really is not. It is, and like I said, in my opinion, I'd say that is the hardest boss in the game, even including like the final boss. I would say the final boss is easier than that boss.
Yeah. I agree with you, and we're getting close to that final boss, and we have one more boss left. Well, we got actually 2 more stages: a stage, a boss, and then the true final boss. And no matter what, if you have the best ending or the worst ending, you are guaranteed to fight the final boss. Like the true final boss. It's just the ending changes.
Yes.
And I think you'll love the best ending for this.
Yes. In my opinion, the best ending, the soundtrack for the best ending is not only the best song in this game, but I'd even argue probably the best song in any Sonic game. So I am excited to get to listen to that banger there. Maybe hard for me to give commentary. I might be too busy jamming out, honestly.
Yeah, no, like I totally understand.
It's a great song.
Yeah, but at least now we're guaranteed to not deal with we're basically guaranteed not to have to restart the level. with this stage.
Yeah,
And once again, for anybody that just came in, welcome to Amazing Arena. You know, where you have to turn the lights on, and if you don't, you have to restart the stage.
I learned that the hard way casually.
Oh.
I was very unhappy.
And here's a mini boss. Goodbye, mini boss.
Yeah, as long as you stay above that screen in the middle there, you won't start the mini boss fight. So it is quite the time save. I think that's our last signpost of the game. So now we really
that
are
is indeed
saying
the last signpost. So goodbye to the pineapple.
goodbye to the pineapple. This run.
Bye, pineapple.
And on to the last stage, Amazing Arena 5, where once again, we have to turn the lights on, and yes, if you don't turn the lights on, and even if you finish the boss, you have to repeat it all over again.
Yes, it is very, very annoying for players who don't know about it to go all the way through these levels, because they are massive levels. They're huge, especially if you're not playing as Charmy and you can't just fly over everything. It can take, you know, multiple minutes to get through these levels, and to get to the end and find out you have to do it all over again can
Yep.
really frustrating.
I was
Especially
going in the
because
wrong direction.
I could be wrong about this, but if I remember correctly, the game just says like, oops, try again. Like, I don't think it really
Yeah.
gives you that much indication of why you have to play it again. So
it doesn't, you're right, it doesn't give you an actual reason why you should start over. Other
Yeah.
than, hey, try again.
Yeah, so I'm sure some people who, you know, played this game and didn't know about that probably were a little bit enraged to just have to keep playing the same level for no reason. So they figured it out.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, that was me. I was like, man, this game is a really cool concept, except Amazing Arena. Heck, that stage.
Yeah.
Just delete it from the game, and the game would be so much better for
I
it.
think everybody has a stage in this game that they kind of don't like.
For most people, it's this
For
one.
most people, it's this one. I also know Marina Madness kind of gets a lot of hate. I feel like I should hate that one, but the music is just so good, man. Love that music.
Yeah. Almost went to the wrong one. I had to remember, I'm like, which one to go to? And it's like, it's this one right
yeah.
here. Because once again, that one I was about to go to, that one will actually send you to another light switch, which we don't want to deal with.
Yeah, and it can be very levels because of how big they are and how samey everything looks, and they throw in all these trick, I don't know what you call them, like transporter things?
Yeah, I would say like trick transporters, trick doors, basically.
Yeah.
Basically, they want you to spend a lot of time running around.
Yeah, this level is a complete labyrinth.
But hey, we're basically at the end of it now. Yeah,
Coming up
there.
on the final level boss, on the actual final boss of the game.
Yeah. And this is, in my opinion, one of the easiest bosses, just because, you know, we got this lovely theater, you know, get your popcorn ready and everything, even though there's no popcorn. But we're going to stay right in this corner, and we're just going to stay right here for a moment and let, hopefully, Mighty gets wedged in between.
Yes, this boss is really easy, especially if you're doing this strategy where you just kind of hang out up there and just keep hitting him. Can hit you, you can go right away and then go back to just slamming into him over and over again. So that boss is pretty easy, and as we saw, Frodo was able to immediately get it over.
Yep. And hey, we just finished every stage, so we just made it through 25 stages, 6 special stages, and it's time to meet our true boss. So who have we been fighting this entire time? Who's been messing with us? Of course we know it's been, you know, Dr. Robotnik, but also his good old friend that saved him in the very beginning of the game, Metal Sonic.
So for those Metal Sonic fans out there, this is one of his only appearances. You know, we really need to see more Metal Sonic love in the games, but this is one of his original and one of his only appearances. And I think he makes for a great boss in this.
Yes.
So I believe we're going to see Frodo doing some pausing here, and you might be wondering why he's pausing. It's actually because you can pause buffer here basically and get the right thing.
Yep.
So it uses the same system as the like random levels. Like I don't know how to describe this well.
Well, basically there's gonna be pause buffer, and we need to land directly on the X, and that's what I keep messing up on.
Yes. As you can see, the one that's lit up keeps cycling around, and so if he hits it right before the X, then it'll go a full cycle around and hit the X, and then we'll be able to just go through this without having to just keep hitting it and hoping for the best. It's just we're pause buffering so that we can actually do it quickly instead of, you know, doing just kind of hoping for the best, because this fight can take a very, very long time if you don't get a lot of the hits in.
Yeah. And so, and yeah, if you lose here, you do have to start the boss all over again.
Yes.
And I think I got it. Nope, I did not. So I'm gonna stay right about here. It won't touch me.
And each number is a different attack. You've been mostly seeing the 3 because he's getting very close to the window he needs, and so it'll usually land on 3 instead of the X. But there we go. Now we are done with that boss.
Yeah.
And now we're
so I'm
moving
gonna
on to the
here.
real final boss, Metal Sonic Kai, who you may have seen got kind of a cameo in Sonic Mania. And this is just, it's a 3-phase long boss fight, but it's pretty cool actually. You're gonna see Metal Sonic Kai hitbox kind of moving around on him, so we're gonna have to attack different parts of him. And it's just, I don't know, it's an awesome final boss. Gonna see able to get a lot of hits here by flying into the arm and then also having Mighty go into the arm afterwards. This is the hardest phase of this boss, where he's in the background and slams his other hand down onto you. You have to hit the top of his hand, but usually you'll take damage. He's actually getting pretty good hits on him here, but it is very hard to do this section without taking damage at all because of just how absurd it is to hit the top of his hand and then get away from it like at the same time. But I'm thinking, you know, he's got a pretty good strategy here of just standing in this corner so that Metal Sonic Kai isn't moving around too much. And now we're on to the final stage of this, so time will be coming up kind of soon. But as you can see, Metal Sonic will shoot this big laser, and then we're gonna run in and do as many hits as we can.
I think we only have maybe one more hit pop. Nope, one more after this. And will the ring come back? Yes. There we go. And the time is gonna come when it goes completely white and it fades out. And time.
Excellently played, man. Good job.
Thank you, thank you. GG. And we got cool. That's a lot of O's right there.
With
And that's all you get. And also, hey, look, Sonic and Tails are like, we helped. And Mighty's like, you didn't do nothing.
And I helped.
Yes, and that's what Sonic. Actually, I feel like Sonic is the bad guy in this case because he's like, hey, I helped, so I get some part of the credit.
For those of you who are wondering, this song playing now was the one I was referring to earlier as best track in Sonic. Its entirety. Anybody who wants to disagree with me can pick that up with me personally, because this is a strong belief of mine.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy this one too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when I'm in class and if I'm getting really bored, I will put this one on and I'll just be like, I don't want to make sure if I'm on camera, like, don't bob your head so much.
Yeah,
But-
it's quite a jam, and like I said, the bad ending is pretty bad, so this is a good reward.
Oh no, someone just pointed out that Sonic's legs are miscolored.
Yes,
They are.
I just noticed that too. They're not blue.
He does have tan legs.
No, no, why would you do this?
I'll say it right now. Just ignore Sonic. Look at Charmy. Look at Mighty. Look at Espio. He's like, I helped
Look-
for a minute. I was in the beginning. Knuckles is like, I had more shine.
Look at
for a
literally
moment.
anyone else.
And Vector's just like ignoring everything, just listening to his music.
He is. But can you blame him?
Oh no, I could.
Oh
I would
my
not blame
goodness.
him. He's probably jamming to the song right now.
He probably is.
But yes, the bad ending for this is literally everything on fire. All that work you did meant nothing.
Oh, geez. So, any shout outs, you two?
I'll let S2 go first, then I'll go last.
I feel like we're pretty obligated to shout out Hypnotix, who is the world record holder for Beat the Game currently. He's a wonderful runner of this game. He needs to learn this category soon, but I'm sure he will probably be topping this leaderboard when he does, because he's just insane in the brain at this game. He's the one who got me into this game, so I wouldn't be here without him. Love you, man. Hope you're out there. I think that's pretty much all I have to shout out, so I'm gonna let you do your shout outs here, man.
Okay. I'll make it quick and everything because I see the credits are ending, but you get to at least stare at Sonic and all of them just kind of chilling. Thank you to the GDQ staff. Thank you, Amber, for having me on to play this game, as well as, just giving, chance to play some Knuckles Chaotix. Special thanks to Hypnotix as well. I know me and him, we were playing this game like last year a lot. He's definitely stuck with it, hence world record holder. So special shout outs to Hypnotix. You're awesome. You're an all-star. Thank you S2 as well for doing the commentary as well, especially with all the Chaos Fruit Loops and everything. Thank you to everybody that's watching. Whether I know you or if I don't know you, my friends or family that are watching, you're awesome. Love you. You're awesome. And I'll end it there with that. I don't really stream that much anymore right now because of life, but hey, just twitch.tv/proto_Sonic. Whenever I stream, I stream.
As the chat has mentioned, shout out to the pineapple.
And so, also,
Oh,
Amber,
yes,
we're gonna leave
and
it up to you.
shout outs to the pineapple.
Shout outs to the pineapple.
But, I do think it is about time for the last run of the night. We have Sonic 3 and Knuckles coming up, Tails, all Emeralds. Maybe we're tired of looking at the Chaotix and we're tired of looking at Sonic. The smallest character on that screen right now is Tails' face. But that's okay. The Sound Defense, who closed last year's event with Sonic and Tails, all Emeralds, will be doing the Tails route, the Tails only route, and you've got to see TSD's special stages. So we're gonna take a quick break while we get that together, and we will be right back with the last run of day one of Sonic and the side quest. So stay tuned.